live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
It's funny, man. A lot of what you talk about, you know what I'm saying, like, it's kind of right where we are, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us, like, about, you know, what we do, or?
Yeah. How do y'all get together, man? Because I feel like the pairing of you two is kind of random. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the whole story of how y'all met and how y'all came up with this idea to start this podcast, man. And I want to salute y'all because I've been doing this for a minute, and I feel like everybody now is kind of like hopping on the podcast wave, even me. You know, I'm just getting on and talking with these kids. So, but I look at y'all as pioneers because y'all are like the first and the people that I know that was kind of doing this thing. So give me the whole story of how y'all got together, man.
You want to tell the step?
Well, okay. So it starts with, I was asked to be on a panel for a networking event that was happening, and did it afterwards. You know, people mingling, networking. Jarrett and I started talking, and we were like, "Oh man, this is good." Like how I'm talking to you, like, "Oh, I'm excited," because we had so many similar ideas about, you know, athletes and what to do and how to help them, and we're gonna get together. Crickets.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Then I'm out with another person that was on the panel was a friend of mine, and the person who had invited us to be on the panel, we were out at lunch together one day, the three of us, and I started, of course, because this is my thing, right? I know this is why I'm on the earth, is to work with athletes, period. And so I'm, of course, talking about this because this is what I love. And Lawrence says to me, "You and Jarrett ain't get together? Let me make sure y'all connect this time," right? Because he was the one that had invited Jarrett to the networking event. So they went to church together. And so he set us back up to like, "No, y'all need to really talk because y'all talking the same thing." And we got together at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
Down the street from Jarrett's house,
Drive,
which happened to be down the street from where I worked. And the rest is no. So at that point, we were only looking at doing a project because we have the Field to the Real project as well. And the project is, that's our baby.
Yeah. Okay,
that's really what we were doing this for. Yeah. Our baby. The Field to the Real project is sort of like what you do on the collegiate level. We want to go into, especially HBCUs, because we know there are limited resources and availability for people to kind of help the athlete know. So the ones who slip through that don't get you or me or Jarrett or you know, somebody in high school to help them figure out who they are and their purpose. We want to be able to touch them at that collegiate level to still show them. I call it the onion syndrome. You're an onion. There are layers to you.
Right.
And so we want to be able to show them that there are layers, and we want to be able to present them with opportunities to figure that out through mentorship with people who might be in a career that they're interested in, or internships and that kind of thing. So that's what we want to do with the Field to. So that's how it started. We were just brainstorming how we were going to make this Field to the Real project work. And then Jarrett mentioned starting a podcast
as a way of promoting the project.
As a way to promote the project.
Awesome.
Because ultimately what we want to do is go onto college campuses and do our podcast live from college campuses. Interviewing coaches and athletes, and then also, you know, hopefully that will set the foundation for us to have relationship with those colleges to be able to come in and do the project. That was our hope. That's what the podcast, believe it or not, that's what the podcast is born for, really.
Yeah.
And I was not feeling it at all.
At all.
Because I've always been a very behind the scenes. I just like to get things done, right? I don't need to be seen. none of this is for me, right? And I'm like, so let me just be in the background. And so we started out, Jared was like, let's give it a shot. And my friend that was also on the panel was right with him, like, yeah, y'all do this. This is how you should do it. Our logo, she created it. Like, she was like, you're gonna do this. Like, so we got together and we started a podcast, and it was just audio at first. And then Jared hits me with the next bomb. Yeah. And said, we should do a YouTube channel. Who, what? Who? Listen, I'm the person that's running when people taking pictures, okay? I don't want to be, that's not my thing. What are you talking about? But we started doing this, and I can tell you that the growth, the way that it's helped me grow as a person has been beyond measure. So I thank my brother all the time for pushing me in this direction. So I think it was something that was said on I Am Athlete. Fred Taylor talked about a coach who said, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's real.
And so I just nervous, like you said, you were nervous about going to Howard. I was nervous about this, but I said, I got to go for it. And 2 years later, we still here. Last, like 2019, we got nominated for a Rice Award in Atlanta. Like, it just, like, wow, right? Yeah.
It's funny because, like, for all of the entrepreneurs out there that's, you know, thinking about starting something, though, it takes just hitting the pavement over and over and over again before you get a break. You got to go. And it's always funny because you have a vision of what you want when you first started, but the path is so different. Like, you know, it's funny because when I came to my homie about game day, I came to him about foster kids from day one. You know what I'm saying? From day one, it was, you know, office alignment, but also foster kids too. And for things that just like 6 years later, it's just starting to peek through and shine through with, you know, making a big deal to kind of make things happen and move forward. Like, I'm very proud of, but you know, that was 6 years ago when we first talked about that. You know what I mean? It takes work. And sometimes you feel like nobody really notices it, so all of a sudden you get nominated for something. You know what I mean? So it's major, man. So for anybody, for all of the entrepreneurs out there too, just start and work at it daily. And when you find your purpose, when it's your purpose, man, it's harder for you to give up on it. You know what I mean? When it's just something, if it's a quick money grab, bro, you're gonna hit a little hurdle and you're gonna be like, all right, I ain't doing that no more. But when it's your purpose though, like the foster kids, that's my baby. I give up coaching high school football right now.
Wow.
It's like, I want to be able to help the kids who are who feel like their situation is hopeless. You know what I mean? Like, high school football is cool, but the reason why I coach is to be able to get these kids. It's the very first opportunity for these kids to learn about setting goals, all right, seeing yourself accomplishing something, and putting in the work to actually get it. So that's the very first opportunity for them to learn those concepts. If you want something great, you got to work hard at it every day. And then, you know, you want to be able to work hard enough to where you're always satisfied with your result. Like, people cry at championships, you know, when they lose, but they're crying because I'm pretty sure in their mind they're saying, man, I didn't work as hard as I should have. You know what I mean? But when you know you gave it your all and that team still got the best of you that day, you're able to shake their hand and be like, you know what? I gave it all I had. I delivered the result. Cool, man. Congrats to y'all. Hats off to y'all. And that doesn't just apply in football. That applies.
Come on, sir. Yes.
Everyday life. You know what I mean? I tell people, it sucks to lose, but you're able to deliver the result if you know you gave it your all. And I said that to my athletes too. I said, bro, take control of the things that you can. You know what I'm saying? You can control your work ethic. You can control how much, how much you put into it. But sometimes you can't control the outcome. And even in marriage, right? One day your wife might want to leave, but you're able to deliver the result if you gave it your all as a husband. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be sitting there saying that's the one that got away when you kind of, gave half effort. You wasn't really listening to her needs and wants and stuff. You kind of wasn't paying attention. And now you feel some kind of way when she's totally, because when women check out, they check out, bro. Ain't no going to get her back.
Please believe it.
Ain't no confidence in the world is going to go get her back once she's checked out.
Please believe it.
You're able
Speak,
to
Travis. Preach, sir. Preach.
I tell them, I say, look, man, you're able to deliver the result when you know you're giving it your all as a husband. You gave it your all, bro. You tried. She still wants to leave. yeah, it sucks, but hey, maybe it just wasn't meant for it to work out. You know what I mean? So like these
But you
concepts,
feel
man,
better
even
because
though
you gave it all. You can walk away with your
you
head
can
up
walk
high.
away with
Listen,
it.
this is my story. This is my story, Travis. Like literally, I can say that in
Yeah.
everything. And this is what I tell my clients all the time. Like if you just do what you can, the best you can't control anything outside externally. But if you know you did your best,
Cool.
you walk away like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, and what's funny is we lost the last state championship this past season, and I know deep down in my heart, I said we didn't put in the work at collectively that we should have. You know, I tell the players, I said, look, man, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. We ain't deserve to win that because when you think about it, we cut corners wherever we could. You know what I'm saying? When I asked y'all to dig deep in practice, I never took it to that next gear. Y'all always did just enough. And so I was telling y'all there's gonna come a moment when we gotta push it to another gear and you won't know how to. You have to train your body to push. You have to train in those moments to dig deep. So when you have to take it to another gear, you're able to do so. So it came down to a point in the state game. We was up 16-0, but that team came fighting back and adversity hit. And when it was time to go to another gear, when it was time to throw that punch, we couldn't do it because all those times in practice when we did just enough, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to push, COVID, making excuses, yada, yada. And it's funny because just me telling those guys, I said, look, I'm not worried about us getting out of this thing in South Florida. I'm worried about the teams up north who are still training because Florida is different. Everybody's kind of compact and we couldn't really train like that. But teams up north in those backwoods, there was enough space for them to get their workouts in without having to worry about COVID. So I was telling them, hey guys, look, come December, those teams from West Palm on up, they're training like right now. So it's just, I don't know, man. I can go about this thing all day, man. I love it. It's an opportunity to teach. Again, I love working with kids, man. Adults, not so much, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Well, I do what I do, but I feel you.
Yeah.
All right,
man. We're gonna step on to the next part of this thing.
Oh, cool.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.